In 2018, over 6.5 million pounds of raw beef were recalled from American grocery stores after confirmed Salmonella Newport infections hospitalized people across the country. Walmart was one of the major retailers affected, but open the wrong package at Walmart today, and what you are really eating is sodium-loaded fillers, mercury-contaminated fish, and bacteria-breeding meat disguised as affordable family meals. For anyone managing blood pressure with daily medication or families feeding growing kids on a tight budget, these hidden dangers are working against your health with every bite. In today's video, we are exposing 13 Walmart products that failed our investigation, including one at number 1 that most shoppers still have no idea about. Stay until the very end, because we will also reveal the 2 products that actually passed every test we looked at. Coming in at number 13, Great Value Canned Chicken. Crack open a can and the smell hits you first. A metallic, faintly sour odor that makes you question the expiration date even when the can is brand new. Inside, you will find rubbery, grayish chunks of meat floating in a cloudy, gelatinous broth that barely resembles anything you would recognize as chicken. The color is pale, almost translucent in spots. The texture is slippery, stringy, and wrong. Now, here is the real problem. A single serving of Great Value canned chicken can carry well over 30% of your entire daily recommended sodium limit. Stack that on top of whatever else you eat that day, and your sodium intake quietly spirals. According to the CDC, nearly half of all American adults have hypertension. For anyone on blood pressure medication or people managing early kidney disease, that sodium load is not a minor nutritional footnote. It is actively working against the drugs your doctor prescribed. The USDA has fielded complaints about Great Value canned meats over the years, including concerns about inconsistent quality, off textures, and excessive liquid content. The promise printed on the label is simple, affordable protein. What hides inside the can is a slimy, sodium-loaded product that could quietly push your numbers in the wrong direction. And most people never check the label twice. They see chicken, they see protein, they see a low price. They never flip the can around and do the math on what that sodium is doing to their body over weeks and months of regular consumption. Affordable protein, expensive consequences. Check your pantry. Seriously, because the next product is in almost every American household with a deli habit. At number 12, we have market-side potato salad and prepared salads. Walmart's deli section sells market-side brand prepared salads. Potato salad, macaroni salad, coleslaw, pasta salads. They sit right there in the open cooler case, looking fresh, looking harmless. But here is what most people never consider. The CDC has reported that deli-prepared sides are responsible for a significant share of all listeria outbreaks in the United States. And listeria is not a stomach bug that passes in a day. For adults over 65, Listeria monocytogenes carries a fatality rate dramatically higher than for younger adults. It can lead to bloodstream infections and meningitis. Now picture the deli counter at your local Walmart. Those containers of potato salad sit in open or semi-sealed packaging, sometimes for hours, at temperatures that are supposed to stay below 40 degrees but often do not. Walmart stores across the country have received food safety citations specifically for deli holding temperatures being out of compliance. The salad looks creamy, fresh, perfectly fine. But listeria does not change the color. It does not change the smell. It does not change the taste. You cannot detect it. For someone whose immune system is already taxed, whether managing diabetes, recovering from surgery, or taking immunosuppressive drugs, one bad container of deli potato salad can mean an emergency room visit, and they will never see it coming. Listeria has an incubation period of up to 70 days. By the time symptoms appear, you have long forgotten that container of potato salad. You will never connect the dots. Looks fresh. Tests dirty. The FDA knew about deli contamination risks for years. They also knew about the next product on this list, and they barely lifted a finger. Now at number 11, Great Value Frozen Fruit. The bag looks clean and sealed. The strawberries look vibrant, almost jewel-toned through the plastic window. Everything about the packaging says fresh, natural, healthy. Then in 2023, frozen strawberries sold at Walmart under the Great Value label were recalled due to potential hepatitis A contamination. The FDA issued the recall notice. It impacted stores across multiple states. Hepatitis A attacks the liver. It is particularly dangerous for older adults and anyone with pre-existing liver conditions or anyone taking medications processed through the liver, which includes a huge number of common prescriptions for cholesterol and blood pressure. Approximately 70% of frozen fruit sold in the United States is imported, and supply chain oversight varies wildly by country of origin. That means the berries in your freezer may have traveled through processing facilities in countries with minimal food safety enforcement before landing on a Walmart shelf with a clean-looking American label. For people who take daily statins or blood pressure pills, or families blending smoothies for their kids every morning, hepatitis A contamination is not an abstract risk. It is a direct threat to the organ responsible for processing every medication you take. The betrayal is simple. Frozen fresh sounds safe. The reality can be the opposite. You trusted the seal. You trusted the brand name on the bag. You trusted the word natural printed in green letters across the front. None of that protected you from a virus hiding on a strawberry picked thousands of miles away. Safe label, unsafe fruit. If the frozen aisle cannot be trusted, surely the supplement aisle is better, right? Wrong. This next one might surprise you. Equate brand supplements, multivitamins, fish oil, calcium. Equate is Walmart's house brand for over-the-counter health products. Millions of Americans trust it because it sits on the pharmacy shelf, right next to the name brands, at half the price. But independent lab testing from organizations like Labdoor and Consumer Lab has found that some Equate supplements do not contain the amounts listed on the label. Some products tested low on actual active ingredient content. Others contained filler ingredients not prominently disclosed on the packaging. The supplement industry in the United States is largely self-regulated. The FDA does not approve supplements before they hit shelves. That means what is printed on the label is essentially a promise, and nobody verifies it before you swallow it. For anyone taking calcium to protect aging bones or fish oil to support cardiovascular health, an underdosed supplement is not just a waste of money. It is a false sense of security. Your doctor recommended a dosage. Your supplement is not delivering it, and you have no way of knowing unless an independent lab tests it. Some Equate fish oil products have also tested positive for elevated oxidation levels, meaning the oil has gone rancid before you even open the bottle. Rancid fish oil may increase inflammation rather than reduce it. That means the supplement you are taking to protect your heart could be quietly damaging it instead. And you would never know because the capsule looks the same, smells the same, and the bottle still says heart healthy in big reassuring letters. The label says supports heart health. The lab results tell a different story. Your pills, their profits. Why do you think the FDA allows supplement companies to put whatever they want on a label without verifying it first? Drop a comment. Who exactly is that system designed to protect? You just saw what the budget supplements are hiding, so surely spending more on real food gets you something better? Not even close. Number 9 is one most people trust without question. Great value American cheese singles. Pick up a slice. Feel it. That plastic-like film. That glossy, almost waxy surface. It does not melt naturally. It sort of deflates under heat, oozing rather than melting the way real cheese does. That is because great value American singles are barely cheese at all. The ingredient list reveals a lineup of emulsifiers, sodium-heavy preservatives, milk protein concentrates, and modified food starch rather than real aged cheese. A single slice can contain over 250 milligrams of sodium. Stack 2 or 3 on a sandwich, and you are approaching a third of the daily recommended limit without even thinking about it. For anyone managing hypertension or taking ACE inhibitors, or families making quick lunches for kids with developing palates, this is a silent problem compounding every day. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day. 3 slices of this product at lunch gets you nearly a third of the way there before dinner even starts. The front of the package says real cheese. The ingredient list tells a completely different story. What you are eating is an engineered food product designed to look like cheese, taste vaguely like cheese, and cost almost nothing to manufacture. The dairy industry spent decades perfecting that illusion. Real cheese, real lies. If the food on your plate cannot be trusted, at least the products cleaning your kitchen should be safe. Think again. Here is where it gets personal. Great value bleach and household cleaners. This one is not food, but it absolutely belongs on this list. Consumer Reports have flagged great value brand bleach and cleaning products for being diluted or inconsistent in strength compared to name brands. Some users report that the bleach does not sanitize effectively. Others describe residues left behind on countertops and cutting boards. For anyone with a compromised immune system or families with young grandchildren crawling on freshly cleaned floors, using a cleaning product that does not actually disinfect is a genuine health hazard. The EPA requires certain efficacy standards for disinfectants, but store-brand formulations can vary batch to batch, and enforcement at the retail level is practically non-existent. The bottle says it kills 99.9% of germs, but if the concentration is off, you are wiping surfaces with false confidence. That is dangerous in any home, but especially in a household where someone is immunocompromised or recovering from illness. You trust the label because the label uses the same language as the name brand, but the liquid inside is not the same. The active ingredient concentration can vary enough to make the difference between actually killing bacteria and just making your counter smell like bleach without doing anything useful. Same promise, weaker product. A lot of people switched to store brand cleaners thinking they were getting the same protection for less money. They were not. And the same logic applies applies to the next product on this list. If this helps you stay safer at the store, hit subscribe. It is free, and it means you will never miss these investigations. At number 7, great value bacon. Walk past the meat cooler and look at the package. The strips look thick, hearty, promising, then cook them. Watch what happens. They shrivel, they curl, they leave behind a pool of cloudy, salty water in the pan. Great value bacon has drawn widespread complaints for excessive water content. You are paying for water weight that cooks off, leaving shrunken, paper-thin strips. But the bigger concern is what stays behind. 2 slices can contain over 350 milligrams of sodium, plus sodium nitrates and nitrites, preservatives directly linked to increased colorectal cancer risk. The World Health Organization classified processed meats as Group 1 carcinogens. That is the same category as tobacco. For people already managing cholesterol with medication, or families serving bacon to kids at the breakfast table every weekend, that is not a minor nutritional detail. That is a classified carcinogen entering your body regularly. The sizzle smells amazing. The packaging promised thick-cut, hearty bacon. The reality is a sodium-loaded, preservative-heavy product dressed up in nice marketing. And the worst part is that most people eat bacon without ever reading the nutrition label. They see a familiar product and assume it is the same quality their parents bought 30 years ago. It is not. Thick-cut promise, paper-thin truth. The next brand on this list was caught in something that food safety inspectors flagged across multiple states, and it is probably the single most popular item in the entire deli section. Now here is the thing. There are ways to protect yourself from almost everything on this list. Simple swaps, easy habits, things most people never learn. We are going to break all of that down, but only at the very end of this video. Do not miss it. Number 6. Walmart Rotisserie Chicken. This is a big one. Walmart sells rotisserie chickens at a loss leader price, often around $4.98. That price is not an accident. It is designed to get you through the door. But the question nobody asks is, what are they sacrificing to sell a whole cooked chicken for under $5? Food safety inspectors across multiple states have cited Walmart stores for improper holding temperatures on rotisserie chickens. The USDA danger zone, between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, is where bacteria like Salmonella and Campylobacter multiply rapidly. And in many stores, unsold rotisserie chickens get pulled apart and repackaged into chicken salad, soup, and pot pies, extending the life of a product that may already be past its prime. Picture the scene. The chickens are stacked in a warming case, some sitting there for hours. The skin has turned dark, almost leathery. Grease pools at the bottom of the plastic clamshell container. The bird looks fine from a distance, but the dryness tells you it has been there too long. The CDC estimates that adults over 65 account for a disproportionate share of hospitalizations from foodborne salmonella infections each year. For anyone on blood pressure medication or managing kidney concerns, or people recovering from recent surgery, those same bacteria can mean a trip to the hospital. For a healthy 30-year-old, a chicken that sat too long might mean an uncomfortable evening. For someone over 65 with a compromised immune system, the same bacteria can be life-threatening. $5 chicken, $500 emergency room bill. Have you ever wondered why rotisserie chickens are cheaper than raw whole chickens at Walmart? What exactly are they doing to make that math work? Drop a comment below. Think you have been making the smart choice by reading labels carefully? Wait until you see what premium packaging can hide. Number 5. Great value ice cream and frozen desserts. Open the carton and scoop some out. Notice the texture. Sometimes oddly gummy, almost chewy in a way real ice cream never is. Other times icy, with visible crystals forming even in a freshly opened container. It does not melt the way real ice cream melts. It deflates, becoming watery and thin. That is because many great value frozen desserts are technically not ice cream at all. They are labeled frozen dairy dessert. That distinction is not marketing. It is a legal requirement. Frozen dairy dessert means the product does not meet the FDA's minimum standards for milk fat content required to legally be called ice cream. Instead, these products are padded with corn syrup, hydrogenated oils, polysorbate 80, and artificial thickeners designed to mimic the mouthfeel of real cream. The labeling is deliberately confusing. The carton looks identical to an ice cream carton. The font, the images, the color scheme, all designed to make your brain register ice cream without you noticing the fine print. The CDC reports that nearly 40% of Americans over 65 have diabetes or prediabetes. For people calibrating insulin or monitoring their A1C, or families sharing dessert with diabetic grandparents, the hidden corn syrup and sugar alcohols can spike blood glucose in unpredictable ways. The glycemic response from high fructose corn syrup is not the same same as from dairy sugars. For someone calibrating insulin doses, that unpredictability is not a minor inconvenience. It is dangerous, not ice cream, not honest. This next product has a loyal following that swears by it for health reasons. What the lab results show is a completely different story. Number 4. Great value canned tuna. The can looks safe. The label says solid white albacore. It sounds clean, lean, healthy. But great value canned tuna, particularly the albacore varieties, contains mercury levels that accumulate over time in your body. For people who eat tuna regularly, a few cans a week, mercury buildup can affect the nervous system, cause memory issues, and interfere with kidney function. The FDA itself advises limiting albacore tuna consumption, especially for vulnerable populations. Some independent testing has found that store-brand canned tuna can contain higher levels of mercury than name brands due to sourcing from different fisheries with less oversight. Mercury does not flush out of your body quickly. It accumulates in your tissues. The damage does not show up right away. It builds slowly over months and years of regular consumption. For anyone already on kidney medication or people taking daily supplements they believe are protecting their brain health, mercury accumulation is a compounding risk that no one talks about at the grocery store. The can looks safe. The mercury is invisible. You will not taste it, smell it, or see it, but your kidneys will know, and your nervous system will know. The early symptoms of mercury accumulation, brain fog, tingling in the fingers, fatigue, are easy to dismiss as just getting older, but they are not. They are warning signs that something toxic is building up inside you, one can at a time. Clean label, quiet poison. That is 4 products down. 4 products you have probably bought this month, and it gets worse from here. We are getting close to number 1, and trust me, that one is going to change how you look at Walmart entirely. But more importantly, at the very end of this video, we are going to show you exactly how to protect yourself. The solution is simpler than you think. Do not miss it. This one is personal for a lot of people. Number 3. Great value peanut butter. Unscrew the lid. Notice the texture. Overly smooth, almost artificially slick, with a sweetness that real peanut butter made from just peanuts and salt should never have. Real peanut butter has grit, a dense, nutty flavor, and separates naturally because it is made from actual peanuts. Great value. Peanut butter does not separate. The hydrogenated oils act as stabilizers, keeping the texture smooth at the expense of your arteries. Those hydrogenated oils are trans fats wearing a disguise. The label might say 0 grams trans fat per serving, but under current FDA labeling rules, any product containing less than half a gram of trans fat per serving can legally be listed as 0. If you eat peanut butter regularly, a tablespoon here, 2 tablespoons there, across multiple meals, those hidden fractions accumulate quickly over weeks and months. Trans fats are directly linked to increased LDL cholesterol, arterial inflammation, and elevated cardiovascular disease risk. For anyone already managing cholesterol with statins, or families spreading this on toast for their kids every morning, adding hidden trans fats is working directly against the medication. Your doctor prescribes a drug to lower your cholesterol. Your peanut butter quietly raises it back up. That is not a small irony. That is a betrayal of trust happening at the breakfast table every single morning. Your breakfast, their loophole. See the pattern? Budget products cut corners. Labels hide the truth. So where does that leave the cooking oil you use every single day? Let us find out. Number 2. Great value cooking oil. Vegetable and canola. This one is in almost every kitchen in America, and most people have no idea what they are actually pouring into their pans. Pour it out and look at it. Almost water clear. No richness, no depth, no character. Compare that to a quality olive oil or avocado oil, which have color, aroma, and actual nutritional compounds you can taste. Great value cooking oil is a product so aggressively processed it has lost its identity entirely. These oils go through a multi-step extraction process that typically involves hexane, a chemical solvent derived from petroleum, followed by degumming, bleaching, and deodorizing. By the time the oil reaches your bottle, it has been stripped of virtually all its original nutritional content. What remains carries a heavy load of omega-6 fatty acids, which a growing body of peer-reviewed research links to chronic systemic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is a clinically recognized driver of heart disease, arterial plaque, cognitive decline, and certain cancers. For anyone whose baseline inflammation is already elevated from aging, or families cooking every meal in this oil for their children, pouring a highly inflammatory oil over every dish accelerates the problem significantly. Now look at the front of the bottle. You will see a heart symbol. You might see the words heart healthy. Those claims are technically legal, but independent nutritional research tells a very different story. Multiple studies published in peer-reviewed journals have questioned whether refined seed oils actually contribute to cardiovascular risk rather than reduce it. The label uses 1 one word. The research uses another. Heart symbol. Inflammatory oil. That was bad. But the #1 spot on this list makes everything else look almost harmless. And it involves something most shoppers still have no idea ever happened. This is the one. #1. Walmart ground beef. Great value and store packaged. Walmart has been involved in multiple ground beef recalls over the years due to E. coli and Salmonella contamination. In 2018, over 6.5 million pounds of raw beef products were recalled after confirmed Salmonella Newport illnesses linked to the supply chain. Walmart was one of the major retailers affected. People got sick, people were hospitalized, and most shoppers walking past the meat case the following week had no idea it happened. For adults over 65, E. coli 157 can trigger hemolytic uremic syndrome, a condition that attacks the kidneys and can lead to permanent kidney damage or failure. Salmonella in that same age group can cause bloodstream infections that become life-threatening. The CDC confirms that adults over 65 are significantly more likely to be hospitalized and to die from foodborne illness compared to younger adults. Now picture the meat case. The ground beef sits in styrofoam trays under tight plastic wrap. From the top, it looks red, fresh, appealing. Flip the package over. Grayish meat on the underside. A faintly sour, metallic smell developing near the sell-by date. Investigative reports have raised questions about whether some stores repackage meat approaching expiration, giving it a new window on the shelf. The fundamental problem is scale. Walmart is the largest grocery retailer in the country. At that volume, quality control becomes exponentially harder. Corners get cut, inspections get stretched thin, and the people who pay the price are not the executives or the supply chain managers. They are the people standing in the meat aisle, trusting the label, trusting the brand, trusting that a major American retailer would never put their health on the line. For anyone managing kidney health or families feeding ground beef to their kids multiple nights a week, this is the #1 product to avoid. The risk is real. The history is documented. 6 million pounds recalled. 0 lessons learned. Remember when I said there were products that passed every test we looked at? Here is the first one. Kirkland Signature Organic Ground Beef from Costco. It is USDA organic certified, sourced from cattle raised without antibiotics or added hormones, with a significantly stronger track record on recalls and contamination. The sourcing is more transparent, the supply chain is tighter, and independent testing consistently ranks it among the cleanest ground beef options at a mainstream retailer. For anyone managing heart health, kidney function, or immune concerns, cleaner beef with fewer unknowns is not a luxury. It is a necessity. You can taste the difference. The meat holds together better. The color is consistent. There is no sour smell developing near the sell-by date. Here is the simple habit that protects you. Always look past the front label. Check the sourcing, check the recall history, and whenever possible, choose products with third-party testing or organic certification that actually means something. One habit, reading beyond the marketing, can reduce your risk dramatically. The second brand that consistently checks out is Aldi's Simply Nature Organic line. Canned beans, frozen vegetables, pantry staples. USDA organic certified, free of synthetic pesticides, and priced competitively with Walmart's Great Value line. Independent reviews and lab comparisons have found that Simply Nature products meet or exceed the quality of much more expensive organic brands. The ingredient lists are short, transparent, and free of the fillers, hydrogenated oils, and hidden sodium loads that plague budget store brands. For anyone on a fixed income trying to eat clean without overpaying, or families stretching every grocery dollar, this line proves you do not have to choose between your wallet and your health. You just have to know where to look. 13 products exposed, 2 that actually earned your trust. Your next grocery trip does not have to be a gamble. Subscribe now, and if you are watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again.